How predictable. Hello and welcome back to the office. My name is Joshua, also known as Prince of Biltan on the streets of Ravnica. And today I've been commissioned by the good people over at Axion Now, the UK's largest destination for online singles, for Magic the Gathering and Lorcana, and event runners across the country. They've commissioned me to help them find out who did the murders at Karlov Manor in Magic the Gathering's latest set. I've been sent some very crucial and very ominous evidence by Axion Now, and it's my privilege to share this information with you. Join me as we unbox this product and we collect evidence on who we think the killer might be. Let's get into this and let's see a little bit more about the murders at Karlov Manor. I'm really excited for this set. I'm really excited to open some cards, so let's see what we've got here. Okay, as you can see, we've got a Murders at Karlov Manor pre-release kit. This contains 6 of the new player boosters, which I'm very excited to open. They're a new product. We've gotten rid of draft boosters and set boosters, and they're being replaced by this new product, which can contain multiple rares, so that's going to have a really interesting impact on draft, and it's also going to be great for us Commander players who want to fill our binders and our decks full of awesome bling. And then there's this thing. I don't know what this could be. It could be a clue. We'll come back to it. Okay, I better analyze this correctly. So we have our Murders at Karlov Manor pre-release kit. Let's get this open. Track the clues, crack the case. Well, we'll be doing exactly that if we can be. Tastes like Karlov is dead. Well, I'll have to do something about that. It appears we have the standard kind of pop-out tokens on the box. We have the Suspected, which is for one of the new mechanics in the set, giving a creature menace and can't block. I really like this. It's incredibly aggressive, and that's just how I like to play Commander. A Case Solved token. Some +1/+1 counters. Double-sided with... And on the other side, we have some flying counters, some stun counters, an unlock counter, and poison counter. How very interesting. But we're not here for the counters, we're here for the cards. So let's dig in. Of course, if you're watching along and you like playing pre-release, you might want to keep an eye out for the cards that I open. You can let me know in the comments which colours that you would build from this sealed deck pool. So we have, yes, our 6 player boosters. As you can see, 14 cards. They contain multiple rares. We have our spin down life counter, which has the Murders at Karlov Manor set symbol on the top, this dagger. Could be a clue. And then we have our pre-release promo cards, which come in this very mysterious, opaque packaging. Let's start off here and let's see if there's anything we might want to add to our sealed deck pool. So there's a code provided here. First come, first served. If you take the code, please comment below at the bottom of the video. Saves people trying to keep checking it. And let's see our promo. Okay, we have Yaros, Roar of the Old Gods. Legendary Centaur Druid, other creatures you control have haste. Whenever one or more face-down creatures you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Whenever a face-down creature you control dies, return it to the battlefield face-down under its own control. If it's a permanent card, then turn it face-up. That is a really interesting card. There's a lot of support for face-down cards in this set using Disguise. So I'll be very interested to see if this guy makes it into the final deck. We also have Tomic, Wielder of Law. This is a classic character from Ravnica who comes back with affinity for planeswalkers, you know who. Flying Vigilance, whenever an opponent attacks with creatures, if 2 or more creatures are attacking you and or planeswalkers you control, that opponent loses 3 life and you draw a card. Now there are a couple of mythics that are included in each pre-release kit, and it's important to know that these aren't actually legal in your pre-release deck. They're just fun little throw-ins that Wizards have put in to let us play within Commander. We have some more tokens, but let's get into the packs. Okay, this is the first pack. The set is all spoiled right now, so I'm going to go very quickly through the commons, unless there's one of note, and we're just going to get straight into the good stuff. Okay, into the uncommons we have Long Goodbye, Get a Leg Up, Lumbering Laundry, and Case of the Locked Hothouse. This is an awesome card that was on Tolarian Community College's top cards for Commander for the set, operating as a very, very powerful way to get additional lands into play, creatures from the top of your library, and it works as a nice form of card advantage in green. We have an Auspicious Arrival, an Island, and a Spider token. Let's go in our second booster. So into our uncommons we have Runebrand Juggler, Living Conundrum, No More Lies, and our rare is Coveted Falcon. I actually covered this during the EDH Rex set review, for which I was responsible for reviewing the colour of blue, so do check that out if you haven't already. I'll put a link in the description. Oh, and here, as you can see, we have two rares in the set, so this is in the same pack. This wouldn't have been possible necessarily with a draft pack unless it was a foil. So that's a little bit of extra value there. Basilica Stalker, and a mountain, a very awesome Rakdos Carnival looking mountain. With a duplicate of Yaris, Roar of the Old Gods, I want to say that Gruul's looking nice today. Okay, we've got our commons. A really awesome showcase frame. This is the first time we've seen here. It's got this very magnifying glass lens effect, and this is Murder, because you couldn't have murders at Karlov Manor without this card, right? Burden of Proof, the first of our uncommons, Fey Flight, Clandestine Meddler, Tin Street Gossip, and a Fugitive Codebreaker, a 2/1 with Prowess and Haste and Disguise 5. This cost is reduced, however, for each instant and sorcery in your graveyard. When Fugitive Codebreaker is turned face up, discard your hand and draw 3 cards. So we're really looking at this Gruul face down deck, aren't we? In our second, we've got a foil Night Drinker Moroi and a gorgeous full art land here. Over on to our fourth pack. Once again, we'll go quickly through the commons. Okay, over into the uncommons now. We have Deadly Complication. They weren't kidding about Teysa Karlov being dead, were they? Or were they? We'll see. Hard-Hitting Question, Pompous Gadabout, Scene of the Crime. I really like these lands that are clues as well, just so you can sacrifice them later and draw a card if need be. Worth noting though, they are artifacts, so they do die to spells like Vandal Blast and Abrade, so watch out for that. Okay, we have Doorkeeper Thrall. This is a very interesting rare. It's looking very popular at the moment in competitive EDH for its ability to basically switch off these Enter the Battlefield triggers you see so much. A 2-mana creature with flash, flying, and a 1/2 is pretty decent already, but I expect this to see quite a lot of play. Our second, our foil common, Person of Interest, and our island and art card. So we don't have a mythic yet. It would be nice to see a mythic, but you know, we'll see how we do. After all, I am on the hunt for these high-profile killers. Slime Against Humanity, one of those new cards that's like you can have any number of them in your deck. This will really lead some interesting deck building, I'm sure. Case of the Filched Falchion. Oh, Gleaming Geardrake. So this is one of our first showcase frame cards, which has this case dossier kind of effect. So this is a really awesome treatment you'll see throughout the packs. Obviously we can pull them in these boosters, or we can pull them in the collector boosters as well. That's really nice. Lead Pipe, so that is an equipment inspired by the game Clue. And True to its name, it is a clue. We can sacrifice it to draw a card if we don't need it. Kiss of the Gorgon's Kiss. War Leader's Call. This is a really awesome and playable rare. It combines an Anthem effect with the card Impact Tremors, which is already a card you see quite a lot in Commander. This will really close out some games in some Boros or Naya token decks, like Jetmir or Naali. Makeshift Binding for our foil common. And this gorgeous swamp. And a Voya token. Okay, we're on to the last pack. We haven't seen a mythic from the set yet, so maybe there's one in here. After all, if I can't catch the killer, maybe my case will continue and we'll have to open something else. Let me know if you enjoy these kinds of videos. Shock. Oh, these are commons, obviously. We'll just quickly go through these. Another Makeshift Binding there in the showcase frame. One thing to note, this is a white card. It can be a bit hard to see. Okay. Case of the Burning Masks. Private Eye. Concealed Weapon. Soul Search. And Aurelia, the Law Above. I almost thought for a moment this was a mythic because I'm so used to Aurelia not being printed at rare. But yep, we have a Flying Vigilance Haste, a new Aurelia, who says whenever a player attacks with 3 or more creatures, you draw a card. Whenever a player attacks with 5 or more creatures, she deals 3 damage to each of your opponents and you gain 3 life. In a very nice, I will say, Ravnica showcase frame. Okay, and we have a foil rare, Thundering Falls, which is one of the new Surveil lands. So this land enters tapped, and when it does so, you're able to Surveil, which means you look at the top card of your library and you may put it into your graveyard. These can be a bit of an upgrade over the Temples, which you might play in Commander, so worth keeping an eye out for these. And we have a foil of our planes, so this is a really gorgeous treatment here. Okay. And that's everything. Okay, so we got 8 rares altogether. That's not bad at all, considering we opened 6 packs. I would have liked to have seen a mythic in there, but you know what? Sometimes these killers can be a bit evasive. But of course, that's not everything, is it? As you might remember, when I opened the evidence dossier from Axion Now, there was one more piece of evidence in the box, one more card. Let's see what it is. This card is Massacre Girl, Known Killer. An ominous title if I ever saw one. A legendary creature, human assassin with menace. This card says creatures you control have Wither. They deal damage to creatures in the form of -1 counters. And whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, if its toughness was less than 1, draw a card. What could this be in here for? I'm not sure what this could be in for, but I know one way to find out. I think it's worth me profiling this killer. I think it's worth me coming up with 99 or so motives that could be added to this card to maybe explain it. I think you'll have to join me for another video where we'll be going into a deck tech for Massacre Girl, Known Killer. So that is everything we opened inside our Murders at Karlov Manor pre-release kit. How do you think I did? What kind of deck would you have built out of these cards? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you to Axion Now for sponsoring this video and providing the pre-release kit that I opened to show you guys some of the cool new cards at Murders at Karlov Manor. I've been working with Axiom for a couple of years attending their events and I've had a blast at every single one. They run them all up and down the UK, with the next one being hosted at Darksphere in London in March. I'll be going there, so if you're going there, please do feel free to say hello. If you want to grab a pre-release kit or any of the cards from Murders at Karlov Manor, you can support the channel by using my affiliate link for Axion Now. This will give me a small kickback on anything you buy at no additional cost to yourself. It also lets Axion know that you like the video, so please consider it if you need to buy singles and you can't buy them at your LGS. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss the deck tech video on Massacre Girl that's coming up next, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Take care now. Bye-bye.